lots of different ways that you can tie a woven wrap, and you'll find instructions to follow both on our website and online. Each carry will have some different benefits, so you can learn as many or as few as you need. Every carry is broken down into a series of simple steps that you follow in order. There are only a few basic techniques involved in all carries, and once you've learned those movements and some wrapping terminology, you'll soon find it easy to pick up new carries because their steps will just be different combinations of those familiar movements. I'll demonstrate a front carry called the front wrap cross carry. We can use it as an introduction to some of the movements and the terms involved in wrapping generally. First, you need to check that you have the right size wrap to tie the carry. Most tutorials will tell you the length that you need in terms of base. They'll say to tie this carry you need a base -2, for example. My base size is the length that I need to do a long carry like this one and tie it fully. And so I know that my base size is a size 6. So if the carry I'm doing says I need base -2, then I need a size 4 wrap. If your base is a 7, then you would need a size 5 wrap to do that same base -2 carry. So when we're wrapping, we think of the wrap is being split into thirds. So we have the top rail, which is this top third, we have the middle section, and we have the bottom rail. Okay, so to start this carry, first I need to find the middle marker. I'll start again for you. Some carries will start with the middle marker off centre. This one starts with it in the middle of my chest. So here's my middle marker. I'm going to cross the cloth behind me and pass the cloth diagonally over each shoulder. Now, each of these loose pieces here and here is called a tail while it's still in action. When the cloth goes over you or your baby, that section then becomes known as a pass. There are different types of pass. This part here is going to be a horizontal pass that sits over my baby. This is going to be a main pass. First, I'm going to bunch it and tighten it up so that I don't have too much slack, and then I'll put my baby in. So yeah, all carries will have at least one main pass around the baby. Some will have multiple passes that work to reinforce. All carries will also have a seat, which is the bit supporting baby's bum. The bottom rail, so that bottom third, is what makes the seat. Now, wrap cloth likes to work in straight lines, so we don't need lots of loose cloth stuffed high between me and baby. That won't work. Okay, we need the cloth to be tight and pulled from knee pit to knee pit in a straight line. It'll then work like a deck chair with the weight of baby holding the cloth in place. So we need to pull this top part of the cloth high up baby's back as far as their neck. Then they're nicely supported with the bottom rail here as a seat. So now we need to tighten. We're always looking to remove slack from carries as early on as possible, really. Otherwise, those little pockets of excess cloth will work their way through the carry and they'll make it sag uncomfortably after a while. I'm going to pull the cloth. First, I'll tighten the whole thing, and then strand by strand tightening. This helps me to avoid over tightening as I can focus on which part of the cloth is too loose Usually we need to work more on this top section than we do the bottom rail. The bottom rail will correspond to this part of this tail here. I can also gather the cloth so that it sits nicely on my shoulder, and I can pin the cloth under my chin or between my legs to keep the tension. Then I'm going to take both of these tails down, cross them under baby's bum and under her legs. Pardon me. The final step of every carry is to secure it somehow, usually with a knot, but you can also use a special metal ring or a knotless style of finish which uses friction and tension to pin the cloth in place. I'm tying a double knot, and I've used a longer wrap than I really need for this carry, so this is a base plus one wrap, so that I can knot it in front to show you. This would normally knot behind your back. So this is a double knot. These two diagonal passes here are currently bunched into ropes so they go straight down, but they can be spread for reinforcement, starting with the one that's underneath first. This is actually a multiple pass carry. So that's a quick introduction to some of the building blocks of wrapping. There are a handful of other ways that the cloth will move across you and your baby, but you'll soon learn the core actions that combine to create all the carries out there. So find a carry and give it a try.